Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon and Ascendant for the month of February. I hope you're well. I'm using the Night Sun Tarot for you today, which is interesting because it's quite a dense spiritual deck. So already I have a feeling that there's something really quite deep going on with you at the moment. Apologies about the light. It's actually quite early in the morning here, and in the summer the sun actually comes through this window. It doesn't happen for like 7 months of the year. But if I get in here early and it's summer, we end up with this. So bear with me, I'm sure it's going to move soon anyway. So what do I have to tell you? Oh, so the 6-month overview videos that I did at the beginning of the year, obviously we're now 3 months into the year, and so halfway through that set of videos that I did, and as a result I thought, well, I'll just sod it, I'll you know, reduce them down. So they're less than half price now, I think. So if you haven't checked them out yet and you're interested, do go and have a look, because actually I'm more concerned about getting them to people. I want people to see them. It's not about the money. So yes, that is that. And there will be an extended at the end of this if you are interested in that. So let's have a look and see what's going on with you, Cancer. Can I have 3 cards for Cancer, please, for April? First one is the Knight of Swords, that's Gemini energy. We have the Queen of Cups in your current energy, and I really like that because it's the card of Cancer, so you're showing up really strongly here. And what's coming towards Cancer? Ooh. We have the 8 of Wands. This is very interesting. At the bottom of the deck we have the Devil, followed by the Sun and Temperance. How extraordinary. I love this. So let me get some clarifiers and we'll get on with this. Yeah, I thought it was you. Come here. Let's give you a quick shuffle. So tell me about the Knight of Swords, please. We have the 8 of Cups. And the 5 of Pentacles. Tell me about this Queen of Cups. We have the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Oh shit. Dropped all of those. The Queen of Cups. Thank you. Yeah, this is wonderful. I like this. And tell me about the 8 of Wands. Fuck, that went right the way over there. Oh. We have Judgment. Ooh. And again, with the burping out of cards, I'm gonna, do you know what? I'm gonna take them all though, anyway, because they wanted to come out. We've got the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck here, which is absolutely extraordinary, followed by the 6 of Wands, which I am enjoying very much for you. What we've got down here, clarifying April for you, is the Queen of Cups again. We've got the 9 of Pentacles, we've got the Ace of Swords, we've got Death, and we've got Temperance, right? Now it's more cards than I would usually take, and I will probably rattle through those interpretations a little faster than I might do ordinarily, because I want something left for the Vimeo, you know? But they all seem extremely on point, so we're going to take them anyway. So, 2 aces straight off the bat, which is really quite exquisite. I love this. And that Devil under there, who is important. Right, let's start here though. We've got the Knight of Swords. Now, this is in your recent past. The Knight of Swords is Gemini energy. But it's all about communication. Right? The Knight of Swords is about the transmission of communication. It's taking, you know, something from one mind and putting it into another, or taking something from one place and putting it into another. But it tends to be expressed, and these can be thoughts, or these can be words, you know, it could even be feelings actually. But this Knight of Swords is kind of charging on, and we catch this scene just as it looks like the Knight of Swords is about to topple off a cliff. Oh. Something knocking at my door. It's not. It's clarified by these 2 cards, and they both come out in the reverse. We've got the 8 of Cups in reverse, and we've got the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. It feels to me, Cancer, like you just narrowly stopped yourself falling off a cliff with something, right? Remember that this is in your recent past. It seems like you went charging back to something, or you thought very hard about charging back to something that you have previously left behind, right? Now, you left it behind for a reason. We know this. But I think that you maybe lost sight of that in the moment. But it feels like you kind of pulled yourself back just in time, because we've got this Five of Pentacles here. Now, being in the reverse is a really, really good thing, because this would be going back to a situation that does not fulfill your needs in any sort of way, right? It's a card of poverty, it's a card of lack, it's a card of feeling isolated and abandoned, alone. It is having your needs not met, right? And it's inherently unstable, but when it comes out in the upright, it's a stabilizing effect on that energy. And so it feels a lot like you thought very hard, or maybe you did. Maybe you even, you know, got part of the way there, to going back to a situation that historically was actually very, very bad for you. But you pulled up short of committing to it, short of getting involved with it properly. It's almost like you had a sort of moment and like, what am I doing, right? What is this? I left this behind for a reason, and now I'm barreling back to it. What's going on with me? And I think you changed your mind. And I think it was a very smart thing to do, because what we've got in your current energy is the Queen of Cups. Now that is you, right? That is you as an incredibly receptive and loving being, but somebody who is in control of their emotions. Like, it feels a little bit like they got a little bit away from you in the recent past, but you're back, you're here now. And more than that, we've got the Ace of Cups and we've got the Knight of Pentacles. It literally, honestly, it feels like there was some sort of I'm going to go with the word temptation. There was some sort of temptation to go back to something, right, for the sake of having something. And this could be a relationship, this could have been a job, this could be anything. You've got to take it as it resonates to you, right? But a return to something that you left for a fucking reason, right? And having stopped, having caught yourself, I feel like you've broken a major pattern here, because I think this is something that you've maybe come to and from quite often. You know, you get very resolved and you're like, I'm not going back to this. This is very, very bad for me. I'm going to go off. I'm going to do it on my own. You know, whether this is job or relationship or whatever, however it refers to you. And then you get stuck in it and you remember where you left in the first place, and then you get miserable, and then you get resentful, and then you're like, no, I need to change this. It has to stop here. And then you walk away, and then sometime down the road you come back again. It feels like you've broken a cycle here, and this would explain why the Night Sun Tarot has come out, because this is a huge leap forward for you, Cancer. You know, something is different about this time. And maybe it is just because you've repeated it so many times and you've kind of caught yourself like that, and you're like, what am I doing? Right? There's true self-awareness going on here, because this feels like you actually taking the time to explore your emotions properly, rather than returning to what is familiar, what is comfortable, except that it's not comfortable in the long run. You know, it's the realization of that. And we have this Ace of Cups. Now, this can talk about new love, but more often than not, what I see here is a return to self-respect. It's a card that talks about self-love, right? The endless pool that we can draw from when we are surrounded by people who do not, you know, respect us or value us or treat us in the way that we deserve to be treated. You know, it's the power of self to be able to go, I deserve more than this. And I'm going to give it to myself by taking myself out of this situation and not putting myself back into a situation that is guaranteed to hurt me in the long run, right? Really good insight, but a real rush of self-respect. And it's followed here by the Knight of Pentacles, and I really like this because it's Virgo energy, but it talks about really understanding the value of something, right? I see I see the Page and the Knight and the Queen as all different levels of understanding the value of something, right? This is about movement with that thing of value. It's putting it front and center and going, actually, do you know what? I'm going to go in this direction because this is important and I can't get this back here. What I get back there is this. And I'm not about that. I want value from my life. And it's taking those small steps away from whatever it was that you try to go back to. Okay? Because you have spent the time learning why it is about yourself that you need to return to those familiar situations in the first place. Right? I'll pull another card for that. Because we do have this Devil card at the bottom of the deck. You know, that is the temptation, that is the draw to go back to something, right? It's being unable to slip the leash of something, but slip it you have. I want another deck. Which one do I want? I want John Bauer under here. Let's have a look at him. Tell me about this Ace of Cups and Son of Pentacles, please. First card out is the Ace of Cups again. And we have the King of Pentacles. There's the Ace of Cups. And there's the King of Pentacles. Now, the King of Pentacles, actually, hang on, let's get one more. Fuck. I've got cards coming out everywhere. I don't even know where that one went. Tis gone, lost forever. Doesn't matter, we've got two anyway, so, oh, wonderful. I love that. Oh, and I love that as well. Yep. We have the Four of Cups and the Four of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck here, right? You've been hanging on to something, almost for the sake of hanging on to it all of this time, right? Yes, it does have shades of the familiar about it, like you know where you stand with it, but ultimately you do know that it will lead to you feeling rejected, you feeling alone, you feeling lost, you feeling taken for granted often, and that is something that's really quite present in the Cancer experience, because you tend to overinvest in people and you don't get it back, right? It never gets reciprocated at the same level that you invest in other people. Now, I think that what has shifted here is an understanding that that is what you do, and a pulling back from it and going, well, okay, if I overinvest in other people, maybe I need to stop doing that and I need to start investing in myself a little bit more. So I clarified the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, and we've now got the Ace of Cups and the King of Pentacles. This is a progression here. But the whole Pentacles suit deals with delayed gratification, right? You don't get what you want right now, but what you do get is an opportunity to plant a seed and nurture it and grow it into something that you actually do want further in the future, you know? It's the long term over the short term. And it's a plan that is now predicated on a sense of self-worth and value that has been missing from you for a long time. The two cards that came out in addition to this were the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is your card. It's a card of Cancer. So you're showing up really authentically again, right here, right now. But this is also a card of the self. Right? This is a card for you of a return to self. This Wheel of Fortune is the teaching moment, right? It's showing you how much of yourself you have subjugated for other people, right? The ways in which you will endure and suffer for other people, in the ways in which they do not do the same for you. And it's almost like this light bulb's gone on in your head, and you're like, well, hang on, if I put all of this effort into me, like maybe I might just feel just a shade better than I do now. Like, it certainly wouldn't be a waste of effort like it seems to be when I invest in this old situation here. Okay. What I want is important. My goals, my dreams, all of these things are important. And I am going to provide for myself in a better way than I have been doing, by stopping myself going back to the familiar, but the ultimately unfulfilling. I'm going to start making plans and laying the groundwork for something that is much more about me than anything else, right? So what you have coming towards you in April is the Eight of Wands, and I really like the Eight of Wands and the Night Sun, because we have got somebody walking, taking step by step, coming out of a really dark hole, okay? And this feels like a hole that you didn't even realise that you were in, for the most part, Cancer. It feels like that revelation is fairly new to you, and with the dawning of that realisation, so there is this movement. Like, no, I'm walking away from this, and I'm very slow, very deliberate steps, but making sure that each one of these steps counts, right? Making sure that I truly understand and I'm grateful for how far I'm coming away from those things that did not meet my needs, and the ways in which I did not meet my own needs. Now, we've got new opportunities showing up for you here, all underpinned by the Wheel of Fortune as well, right? Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Pentacles. And look how similar they are there. They're just visually very similar. And the Six of Wands. So it could be a new job, it could be a new house, it could be a new sort of anything, but actually it doesn't really matter what it is, because the only thing that really matters about it is it's a new start for you. It's something that you want. Here is the seed that you are wanting to plant, because in the future it's going to do you very well, and you, not other people, it's going to do you very well. So we have Judgment, we have the Queen of Cups again, we have the Nine of Pentacles, which I love, we have the Ace of Swords, we have Death, and we have Temperance. April will be a truly profound month for you, Cancer, because lots of things are changing, and the biggest changes are happening within, for sure, but it feels like they will be matched by what is happening without, you know. The Judgment card feels to me a lot like you making decisions for yourself now, right? Elevating yourself above the various relationships and collectives that you found yourself in, where you have always, like I said, subjugated your own needs to those of other people. And it feels like a huge liberation, right? Just as you're climbing out of this hole here, you're elevating above the crowd here, like, what do I want? What serves my needs the best? Got the Queen of Cups here, and she's pointing directly at this. Like, this is huge, life-changing decisions going on here. And remember, that doesn't need to be, you know, oh, I'm going to move to India or something like that. It can be something very subtle that goes on inside your own mind, but it changes the way that you see everything. It changes your perspective, but ultimately it changes the way that you react to anything. It feels like a shift from reaction to action for you, Cancer, because we've got this Nine of Pentacles here, and Pentacles being, you know, this energetic currency that we use. I see you kind of very softly sectioning off, right? 9 of the 10 Pentacles are going to be invested in me and what I need and what I want, right? Because ultimately from there I'm in a much more powerful place to be able to bring a vision to life. I don't know where that's come from. There's this vision of something that you have, maybe even just a daydream at this point, but there's something about this that can be brought into being if you manage your resources properly. Now that can be money, okay? Absolutely can be money, but it can also be time, care, effort, you know, trust, all these sorts of things, right? The sort of things that kind of wear us out when we invest them in other people and we don't get them back, right? See you kind of closing that all off, not becoming guarded, not becoming defensive, because it's feathers that they're using. This just a very soft boundary, a very soft division. These pentacles are allocated to me and me alone. Then we've got the Ace of Swords, Death and Temperance, and I think this is a wonderful combination, right? This is a really clear insight into something. It is now the third ace that you have had on the table here, and it is absolutely about seeing the world differently. You know, I see the sword suit is everything to do with the mind, right? Thinking, talking, the way that we perceive the world, you know, the way in which everything is processed here. And when we've got this ace coming in, it's about a shift to something new. It's about being able to connect dots, yeah? Quite creatively think about things, but seeing ultimately the truth of the matter. And we've got then death and temperance. Like death is Scorpio, this is Sagittarius, but this talks about a huge transformation, massive transformation of something. And the Temperance card is all about healing. It can sometimes be about divine guidance, and possibly there's an aspect of you being protected here, and this is why you are, you know, able to make these revelations now about yourself. You know, the Ace is given to be insight that comes from spirit or the divine, or, you know, universe, however you want to see these things. But it's the change in perspective. It's the way that you can put things together that changes you and puts you on this path of healing. You know, there's also a quality of divine timing about temperance. And whilst divine timing is often, you know, it's one of those things that everybody's heart sinks when it says, oh, it's not time yet. You've got to trust in divine timing. This divine timing says it is time now. Like what you have waited for so long is now about to arrive. But don't think for a second that it happened by accident, because it didn't. It happened because you broke the cycle, because you are already feeling different. You are already acting differently. You know, you're already considering the long-term ramifications of the seeds that you are planting now, rather than wanting the instant gratification of comfort and security, and actually getting neither, but it's just more familiarity than anything else. Like, April's going to be huge for you. It's really, really good. I'm so excited for you. So if this has resonated with you at all, I'm going to go over to Vimeo now and kind of pull this apart and have a look at what this might look like in more depth. So if you're interested in that, the link's in the description box. Other than that, I hope that this was helpful, and know that I love you all very, very much, and I'll see you soon.